You ever wonder what makes a spooky story, actually spooky? What are those special ingredients that give you goosebumps? Well, today, we're going to take a look at a classic creepy tale and see exactly what makes it tick. Let's find the key and open the door. Okay, first things first, every single scary story, whether it's a movie or a campfire tale, it has one big rule. It's the rule that makes everyone watching yell at the screen. And that rule is you never, ever go inside the spooky building. But of course, if nobody ever broke that rule, we wouldn't have a story, right? So let's meet our traveler, a guy named Adil. He's caught in this massive storm late at night, and he's just desperate for a place to stay. He's tired, he's soaked, and he is about to make a decision that's going to change his night forever. Every great scary story needs a creepy setting. And right away, our story gives us the very first clue that something is really, really wrong here. This is that moment where the story kind of whispers to you, hey, pay attention. So Adil finds this old hotel and steps inside. And the first thing he notices is the silence. I mean, think about it. A hotel should have people talking, maybe some music playing, right? But this place is completely, totally quiet. That silence is our first big sign that this is not a normal hotel. He walks up to the front desk and sees the guest book. And this is where he gets the first big shock of the story. His own name, Adil, is already written down, waiting for him. But how? He's never been here before in his life. So how is that even possible? This is the first real piece of the puzzle. It's almost like the hotel was expecting him. This little detail turns the story from just a little strange into something genuinely mysterious and pretty unsettling. Okay, so the hotel is officially creepy. And this is the part of any good scary story where the main character gets a very clear chance to just leave. He gets warnings, and in this story, Adil gets two very clear, very scary warnings. Let's listen in with him. He starts heading up to his room, which is room 307. The hallway is super dark, and as he's walking, he passes room 306. The door is just a little bit open, and from inside, he hears this soft, sad sound, almost like someone is crying. This is warning number 1. Now, most of us would probably turn right around and run out of that hotel, no questions asked. But Adil is just scared, so he just hurries into his own room and locks the door behind him. And just like that, he ignores the first warning. So he's finally in his room, trying to catch his breath. It's quiet again. And just when he starts to think maybe he's safe, a sound just cuts through that silence. The phone starts ringing. He slowly, carefully picks up the phone, but there's no real voice on the other end, just this faint whisper. And this is warning number 2. The whisper gives him a very specific and very creepy command. Don't look in the mirror. So what do you do when a spooky voice on the phone tells you not to do something? Well, if you're the hero of a scary story, you almost have to do it. Let's see what happens when Adil decides to look in the mirror anyway. And this is the big, terrifying twist. He looks in the mirror and he sees himself, but something is deeply, deeply wrong. See, Adil isn't smiling, but his reflection is. And then, as Adil stands there, frozen in shock, his reflection slowly lifts its hand. Can you even imagine that? Seeing your own reflection move when you aren't? This is that moment of pure terror. Adil realizes he's not alone in the room. His own reflection is something else. So now all the pieces are starting to come together. The guest book that knew his name, the crying from room 306, and now the reflection that moves all on its own. We've reached the climax of the story, where everything is about to come crashing down. All of a sudden, there's a knock at his door. A voice from the hallway says, "Open the door." And the voice, it sounds exactly like his own. As he's staring in horror, the mirror begins to crack, and a hand reaches out from the broken glass and grabs him. And then, silence. The next morning, the sun is shining. The hotel is quiet and still, just like it was when Adil first arrived. It's almost as if the terrifying things that happened last night never even happened at all. But something has changed. Let's look at that guest book one last time. Yesterday, there was one entry for Adil in room 307. But now, there's a second entry. Another Adil is registered for room 306, the exact room where the crying was coming from. The story is over for our Adil. But the hotel, oh, the hotel is not finished. Because as the morning sun fills that empty lobby, from somewhere deep inside the hotel, a phone starts to ring again, just waiting for the next guest to arrive. The whole cycle is starting all over. So, that leaves us with one final chilling question. Who is the Adil that's now trapped in room 306, crying? And more importantly, who is the smiling reflection that is now free to walk around? The story doesn't tell us, leaving us to wonder. And maybe next time to remember that number one rule: never, ever go inside.